Let's say I'm stranded out here today. High desert. Winter time. Granted, mild winter, but it is still February when I'm reviewing this saw. I came in today on that KTM 690 Enduro R, the workhorse of the nutnfancy project. One of them to test this saw. And again, let's just say for whatever reason, I have a flat, I bent a rim, I can't get out, I'm stuck for the night, and it gets really cold. Let's say in our scenario, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm thinking a fire would be in order. And I always bring tools with me to do just that on my bikes. Man-portable systems too. So what I'm doing right now is looking for the perfect deadwood to process. This is just a review, not an emergency. But if it was, I might just attack this log right here. That standing deadwood. It's just about perfect. Got some small twigs on it, different sizes. Saw that up, used my survival knife to process it. Got a fire, can stay warm. But again, a test, not an emergency, so let's look for something else. And that's what I was doing in this ravine. Hiking around and finding the perfect wood for this test. I can't believe how beautiful it is today though. That's a great candidate right there, dudes. We might come back to that. But I also found another great piece of desert wood over here. And I think that's desert scrub oak. Not too much else around here for wood. So let's drop back into the ravine. And this is where we're gonna be, right there. Now, the saw, you saw the title, is something that TMPers have been wanting me to review, give my opinion on for a number of years. I'm finally getting around to it. It's this one right here. Cue the whip sound. The pocket chainsaw. Let's see if I can do this in one take. That would be awesome. I've never integrated one of these into any system I have. Not on the motorcycle, not backpacking, not hunting, not survival. I think that's because, to be totally straight up, I do have some prejudices against this type of saw. I like a blade saw, Sawviver, Baco Force, something I can use with one hand that minimizes my work. That has a large bite, at least that big, maybe bigger if my system can take it, like a Baco Force. That's what I will bring along in most systems. The advantage of this is it's going to be a lot lighter. It's only 7 ounces total, and that's with the carry handles right here. I think the Sawviver's like, what, 10.5, 12 ounces. And that's a reference backpacking saw. There's some other folding ones guys will swear by. I've used those and I haven't been impressed with them either. Maybe I'll come out and do a review on them sometime. You know, fast forward 3 years in the future. I would like nothing better to prove myself wrong with this saw right now. The pocket chainsaw. We're gonna set it up, use it, and hopefully it just rips right through this wood and I can give you a glowing recommendation. There we go. Handle pin comes in. I do like how thin it is. So it doesn't have the width, the curve that a normal, of course, chainsaw would. That's a good thing. The thicker that blade would be, the harder you're going to have to work to make it work. I did use some saws like this in survival training in the Air Force, and maybe that's where my bias stems from. Yeah, I wasn't a super fan then. I don't know if they were this technical though. I don't remember ever using a saw like this. That's very narrow, articulated, super sharp, carbon steel blade. Maybe we're going to be impressed here, guys. And I'm going to be totally open-minded. If it rocks, I'll tell you as much. One of the advantages I think this type of saw has, no matter what your technique is again, it's a two-handed affair. So if the blade starts binding, you're going to have to get creative to unbind it. You don't have a free hand, unless you have a buddy to help you. I also feel it's going to be more work than a blade saw. So let's check it out. This is going to be the perfect tree, I think, to test. And I think I'll just come over here. Bear with me as I set this up. I'm noticing, by the way, as I'm walking around, the saw's kind of in the dirt. and it's picking up dirt. That might be a disadvantage because it's going to make it so the articulation binds. I'll start right here with this small fella on a pocket chainsaw. If this thing rocked, that would be cool, because I'd start carrying it on the moto all the time. I'll start right there in that knot. Now the advantage of this is its weight, and it's super compact. Actually, I think this is juniper from the smell of it. This one's new, and that means it's going to be sharp. That worked good. Worked real good. Let's go over here now. Can you guys see me? I think you can. Pocket chainsaw. It's a workout, just as I suspected. But you know, sawing with a Sawviver takes work too. None of them are gimmies. Let's come up here so you can see it better as I burrow on through here. I'm thinking at this point this saw is going to be best as it's intended. A very limited purpose, limited use, emergency saw. I think that's where it's going to really come into being. When you're not really expecting to saw anything. If I know I'm going to saw, I'm going to bring me a blade saw. It worked. I mean, it's doing the cutting. You can see it yourself. I got to tell you, though, I'm not super stoked going through anything thicker. Not from what I'm seeing right here. Drop it down a bit, yeah. Let's attack this right here. Won't lube it up quite yet. Got kind of a knot there at the bottom, too. It's a workout. Wonder how the thing's going to do when it gets stolen. How long it will last. Whew. Inevitably, when I do a review like this, some dude will roll in the comments and have a suggestion of the next best saw. Hey dude, you really need to try this saw. That saw. The one you reviewed does suck. And by the way, I'm not saying this one sucks. I actually like it for what it is. An emergency saw. But everyone's always got, you know, favorite saws, favorite this, favorite that. I haven't seen anything groundbreaking in the world of saws for a long time though. That's why I've stuck with a Sawviver all these years. Now out of business, sadly. Oh, dude, I do not want to go through this thick log. In fact, I'm not going to do it. It's too much work. This one right here is what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Come on, Nuttin, you puss, do it. I'll start it. How's that? And I reserve the right to abandon it at any time. And this is probably where the heart of the review is going to lie. This test wood right here. Because I would have no reservation at all sawing through that with a Sawviver. Been there, done it. I have lots of video proof showing you over the years that exact process. This is where binding can really become an issue with this chainsaw, this pocket chainsaw. I'm looking at the best way to do this. Probably pulling it through, like so, from the bottom. Dude, this is gonna take me forever. Oh, dreading this cut. I don't even want to do this. This is all twisted up. The handles are comfortable, I will say that. The pull handles. I'm gonna start my light cut, get my groove started if I can. There it is, I think. The saw is kind of twisting as I pull on it, and so it's jumping around on the wood. It's not staying in one position. That's not good. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is just one of my famous raw edit videos. I'm not even going to stop the camera. So look under here, and this is what's going down. So I'm going to try to pull up on it, get a nice start, and it'll probably work just fine now. No, not really. See how the blade's twisting? Let me come straight. And I want to cut up, not down. So that up cut's not working. Oop. This fell off. Let's try it again. Let's give it a fair shot. It's cutting in, but it's just not cutting straight. It's going sideways, really. I could start it from the top and rotate it. Oh, no way, dude. I'm not doing this. I ain't doing it. It's just too much work. Now, once I have that groove, of course I can rotate it like this. Right here. See, it keeps wanting to torque and bend. And I wonder if you bent that permanently, if it would disable the saw. See how that's snaking around the log like that? That's wasting energy. And it's making a non-straight cut for me. I am doing my best trying to get it right. Screw it. My takeaway on this, it probably can do some big logs. Maybe there's some guys that have done it. I don't think it's suited for it, for what I'm seeing right now. Just straight up. The blade's torquing, it's bending. Plus it's going to be a huge amount of work to get it through. Maybe you got all the energy, but TCE out here is limited. You know, even more so if I've come in via backpack. That's what the blade looks like so far. And this is just a preliminary test, guys, so I won't totally sign off on it, and I won't totally condemn it from this one test. Let's do one more small cut, and then we'll put down some impressions of the pocket chainsaw. How about right over here? That will work. Can you guys see that? Only the best high-tech production values here in TMP. That's some good wood though to burn. Look at that. And that's again why we might have to get into a tree like this if it's raining or snowing. If it's not, I wouldn't go to the hassle. I wouldn't burn the calories. I'd just start stripping this stuff right here. Break off some limbs. And then if I can find something dry, I'll just burn that. This keeps coming off. I think for this size of limb, it actually does pretty good. See, it cuts pretty straight into that one. And I can get going on a fairly perpendicular cut, right? Zoom in on that a little bit here for y'all, so you can see it up close. Saw a little bit of binding there at the end. You have a bigger log like that, I don't know, I just think it'd be tough to get the blade out, and you might even bend it. Cool sounding birds. So here's my out brief on the pocket chainsaw. It's kind of like I said, I would not go backpacking with this thing. Too much work, it's two-handed. From what I see, it's really tough to attack the really thicker logs. That one we were trying to saw 9 inches in diameter. But I think it's a great survival saw, especially for the weight, again, 7 ounces. You're gonna need handles. They will pop off like you see. It will bind in some wood. You might bend it. You probably ought to lubricate it like I was doing. I brought a can of WD-40 today. It's gonna work a lot better. But it's light, super compact. It can get the job done if and when you need to make that emergency fire, maybe some emergency shelter. There you go, pocket chainsaw. Likability scale in the sidebar. See ya.